Hello everybody, Teagan here with High Point. Thank you so much for tuning in to tonight's episode of What is in the Night Sky this month. Tonight I'm going to be taking you through a beautiful tour of the night sky in the month of November. We're going to be visiting several deep sky objects like galaxies and star clusters and nebula. Then we're going to bring it closer to home and see what the moon and the planets are up to this month. So as always, let's buckle in and see what's really out there. So for our first stop in our tour tonight of the night sky in the month of November, we're going to take a look at a very photogenic and visually stunning target, the double cluster. NGC 869 and 884 is a gem for almost any observer. The famous double cluster is conveniently located between Cassiopeia and Perseus and can be glimpsed with the naked eye under dark skies and can provide an attractive view through binoculars. Telescopically, you'll need a magnification of around 70 times or less to fit them both within the same field of view. So this is one of my favorite objects to view through a telescope. You can see it very well in light polluted skies, but once you bring your telescope under a dark sky and then you have the opportunity to view the double cluster to the eyepiece, it is absolutely stunning how many more stars are available. Photographically speaking, this is also a very nice target. So from the double cluster, we're going to be visiting our next deep sky object, and it is far beyond the realm of our own Milky Way galaxy. In fact, it is 2.7 million light years away, Messier 33. Messier 33, or the Triangulum Galaxy. While being a little tricky for visual observers, M33 is a treat for astrophotographers. Through binoculars, it appears as a faint oval patch of light, but you'll need a larger telescope to see anything of its spiral arms. Visually speaking, in a light polluted area, the most that you may be able to see, even with a decent sized telescope, is going to be a light smudge in your eyepiece. On the bright side though, this is a great target for beginner astrophotographers, even for those who want to shoot in narrowband. This galaxy has some incredible emission nebula just waiting to be photographed. So from Messier 33, we're going to bring it back within the realm of our own galaxy, and we're going to talk about the planets, Saturn and Uranus specifically, and then a phenomenon happening within our own solar system. So first, let's see what the planets and the moon are up to this month. Mercury appears in both the evening and morning sky this month. It's briefly visible in the evening sky until the 10th at about 15 minutes after sunset, very low towards the west-southwest. If you have binoculars, try looking for a faint Mars, which appears 5 degrees to Mercury's right. As for Saturn and Neptune, they remain visible for much of the night, separated by 4 degrees, with a beautiful waxing gibbous moon appearing to the right of Saturn on the 1st and then again on the 29th. Uranus is at opposition on the 21st, while Jupiter is observable after midnight, close to the stars Castor and Pollux in the constellation of Gemini. A waning gibbous moon appears between Pollux and Jupiter in the early hours of the 10th. Venus is low over the east-southeastern horizon at about 30 minutes before dawn at the start of the month. Spica, the brightest star in Virgo, appears to its right at that time, and a thin crescent moon to its upper right on the 18th. Step outside at around 15 minutes before sunrise on the 24th and the 25th, and you might also see a dim Mercury, just 1.5 degrees to the left of Venus. Lastly, there's a full beaver moon in Aries on the 5th, and the moon turns new on the 20th. So in the month of November, Saturn remains visible for most of the night, but something special is happening this year that you can see visually through an eyepiece. It takes roughly 30 years for Saturn to orbit the Sun, and for much of that time the planet's rings are clearly visible. However, every 15 years or so, when the Earth crosses Saturn's orbital plane, the rings appear edge onto us, and for a brief time they disappear. The ring plane crossing itself actually occurred on March 23rd, but the planet appeared too close to the Sun at that time. Thanks to Earth's orbital inclination, the gap has been closing again, and on November 23rd, we'll get the next best thing. The rings won't be quite exactly edge-on, but they'll appear so narrow that they'll all but disappear, with only larger amateur scopes being able to detect them. From Saturn, we are going to talk more about Uranus, which is also visible for most of the night in November. Uranus reaches opposition on the 21st and is at its best for the entire year. Regular 10 by 50 binoculars will show the planet as a star-like point within the same field of view as the Pleiades star cluster, or Messier 45. A telescope and a magnification of around 100 times will show the planet as a tiny aquamarine disk. Uranus being close to the Pleiades star cluster means that if you're an astrophotographer, point your wide field of view scopes and cameras towards the Pleiades star cluster, and you may be able to capture this conjunction of the two targets. Finally, as I mentioned, there is a phenomenon happening within our solar system that we still need to talk about, the Leonid meteor shower. Step outside on the evening of the 16th of November or early hours of the 17th, and you might see a shooting star or two. The Leonids are not the most prolific shower. You could see up to 15 meteors an hour under ideal conditions. The waning crescent moon won't be causing any interference this time. Alright, so that is our tour of the night sky in the month of November. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments, and if you viewed or photographed any of these targets, let us know where you were you under dark skies, what kind of equipment did you use? We love to hear from you. With all that being said, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss any future What's in the Night Skies or future product reviews over all astrophotography gear. Again, my name is Teagan. Thank you so much, and clear skies.